I wanted to finish off my Wednesday by checking in with you guys, seeing how you're going, and also just sharing a bit of a takeaway that I've had, more a reminder that I've personally had this week as well. So if you do join me live here, please say hi and hello in the comments. If you're watching the recording, also say hi and hello so that I know that you actually watched the recording, and I'll come back and check those as well, because Facebook will tell me that you commented. So, yesterday was a very important day. It was tax planning day for my businesses. I wonder, have you had your tax planning meeting as yet with your accountant? If not, this is also your reminder to get that booked in. So yesterday I literally spent 2.5 hours, myself as well as my senior principal psychologist Chelsea, and we had a meeting with Will, my accountant, and Kathy, who is also an accountant. She works with Will, she's in charge of our account, and the four of us spent 2.5 hours together doing tax planning just for the two practices. Like next week, Tuesday is part 2, where I will then meet with them to discuss Private Practice Success Australia, as well as my husband's business. So yeah, 2 parts of tax planning for this year, because there's so much to it. And if you think about it, 2.5 hours, yes, it's 2 practices, but you know what? When you have a really good accountant, they are doing more than just tax planning, which means that they are doing more than just going, based on your actuals to date, we are predicting this is where you're going to land come the end of this financial year. As a result, we think this is what your tax is going to be. And as a result, we recommend A, B, and C to try and reduce that. That could be like a 15-20 minute meeting, right? Quick, easy, done. However, when you have an accountant that actually looks at your business, when they're sitting with you as if it's their own, and they actually help you to tease out all the things that your financials are saying in terms of what did you do well as a business over the last 12 months? Where did you maybe drop the ball, right? From a financial perspective again, so that you can learn and take that learnings into the future. I feel very blessed that I've got an amazing accountant. I've been with him for many, many years now, and I can tell you every year I learn something new when I sit down for our tax planning meeting. All right, so I wanted to share with you a reminder that I had as we were looking through everything. So, we were having a discussion. Will would ask facilitative questions to get information from myself, get information from Chelsea, in order for all of us to understand what the financials meant. And the reminder was, and that's what I want to share with you guys, is that when you are sitting down at your desk like I am here, and you are looking at your profit and loss and at your balance sheet, very important to look at the balance sheet as well, and you are looking at those financial documents, you are coming from a financial point of view, of course, right? Versus marketing, HR, that type of stuff. When you look at it financially, you need to wear 3 hats. Now, you can't wear them all 3 at the same time, but at different points in time, you need to put on all 3 hats. Okay, so what is the first hat? The first hat is you as the business owner, practice owner, right? The person that carries the risk. You as an employee of the practice. Now, you are an employee whether you are a solo practitioner or a company or a trust, or a company as trustee for the trust. There's still an employee hat. That is you doing work and getting paid accordingly, right? I would say 100% of us needs to be earning money from our businesses, right? It's why we have it. We also need to get paid. So that's the first place you need to look at it. Now, that being said, I do know, because I've spoken to some of you and I've met some of you that tell me, Gerda, I'm going from solo practitioner to group private practice. There's so many expenses. I'm actually not even paying myself a wage. Or maybe I'm paying myself like $100 a week, right? Which is really nothing. This is happening out there. You might not believe it, but I can tell you, as somebody that speaks to a lot of practice owners, it is happening more than you think. People don't share this information with their team. They don't share it with their friends. They don't share it with other people. They share it with me, obviously confidentially, when we're having those discussions. And obviously I'm not mentioning names here, right? So I can share with you that this is happening. And I think sometimes there's a bit of, I don't know, shame attached to the fact that, you know, that I can't even pay myself and my contractors or my employees are earning great money and I'm going home with $100 a week because there's just no disposable income. So when you are wearing your employee hat and you looking at your financials and it says that you earned 5,200 over the last 52 weeks because you paid yourself $100 a week as an example, right? The employee hat should not be happy with that. Not at all, because that's not okay. That's not okay. What employee would be happy to get that type of money? Show them to me. They do not exist, right? Now, if we want to become a little bit more literal, when I say employee, you can think of it metaphorically, like the person working in the business, whether you are seeing clients or not, doesn't matter how many clients you're seeing, you want to get, disposable income from your business. However, for me, on a more literal sense, I'm also officially employed. I shouldn't do this because it's officially. Put your hands away, Gerda. I'm officially employed by my business. So many years ago already, I've been doing it for so many years. I had a conversation with Will and he recommended that was the best way to set it up. So I have always earned a weekly wage from my business. I have always paid super or been paid super out of the business into my super fund as like any other employee, and I pay tax as like any other employee, right? So for me, I tick the employee box. I get paid a really good wage that I'm very happy with. Every year, Will asks me this question. He goes, Gerda, how much do you want to earn? And he normally recommends that I draw up what he calls a lifestyle budget. In other words, if you are living the lifestyle that you want, Gerda, how much money will you need every week? So I like to get paid weekly. Everybody else gets paid fortnightly, but I am the business owner, so I will pay myself weekly because that's what I like. I like to see constant money coming in. So that's the question that he will ask me. So I'll go, okay, so, school, Manor Park, motorbiking activities, what's all that stuff that is important for our family that we want to be able to do? And then you work that out, and then I tell him this is what I would love to earn, and then he makes the tax work. So that's what you can do as well. But I feel very good about the fact that I know that every week, month, quarter, year, I'm contributing to my super, right? Because that's a big mistake that a lot of practice owners make, especially sole traders or people that do what's called owner's drawings, where they just take money from the business. They go, next month, or within the next 3 months, or within the next 6 months, I will do a super. And they just don't get around to it. Not because they don't think it's important, just because we do not prioritize ourselves. And by paying yourself as an employee, you are forced to prioritize yourself. Right? So I'd strongly encourage you to discuss that with your accountant. Obviously, I can't give you accounting advice, right? I'm talking to you about general stuff because I'm not an accountant. I have accounting to grade 12 and that's it. Okay, but I'm sharing with you what it is that I do so you can go and have these conversations with your accountant. All right, so that's really important. The employee hat. The second hat that we wear is the hat of business owner, okay? So the person that started the business. So the common questions that you want to ask yourself here is this, especially during challenging times. At any time over the last 12 months, did you as the business owner had to take your hand into your own back pocket and put money into the business? That could happen due to various reasons. Right? It could happen because your cash flow sucks, because you had a big unexpected bill and you didn't have the savings that you really should have. So something happened, and as a result, you had to take out 10, 20, 30 grand out of your back pocket and put it into the business. As a business owner, You don't want to be doing that, right? So you need to ask that question. Did the business rely on me at any point in time to be like a personal guarantor for it to be able to continue trading? If that's the case, then it means that there's something inherently wrong in your business, in your model, in how your cash flow works, in your financial management, in how you generate revenue. But can you see how asking that one question can lead to all these offshoots of additional questions around problem solving? Well, first and foremost, fault finding, and then problem solving stuff that's happening in your business. So you don't have to do that again in 6 to 12 months time. Okay, as a business owner, that should be the last resort. Okay, cool. So that is the second hat. The third hat is the hat of shareholder. Yes, you are actually a shareholder in your own business. Even though you're not an officially publicly listed business, you also have a shareholder hat. So what does the shareholder want from the business? Well, the shareholder wants to be able to look at the profit and loss, or look at the balance sheet at the end of the quarter and see profit sitting there. And the shareholder wants to get some dividends paid out, right? Any other shareholder in any other publicly listed company wants that. So yes, maybe you might not have plans to publicly list, but this is a really great way to ensure that your business is being operated properly and not just like a backyard mechanic or, you know, a little shop and they do the same thing for the next 30 years and all it is a glorified job where you work your ass off and you never have something to show for it. I don't want that for you. I do not want that for you. I want you to be rewarded for your hard work, which means that you need to put on your shareholder hat at the end of the quarter and go, okay, what is the profit? And how much of that profit do I want to pay out to myself as the shareholder? Whether that is as dividends or, a bonus, whatever. And those stuff, how that gets done, it again is something you discuss with your accountant. What we do know is there should be a profit, right? And here's the kicker. Not only should there be a profit on paper, you still want to be able to pay, not the whole profit out. I would never pay out the whole profit, but at least a percentage of that. There should be sufficient cash in the bank to pay that out to you as the shareholder. Okay, if not, imagine this being a publicly listed company. The shareholders won't be happy if there's not dividends because people want to return on their investment. So you deserve to get a return on your investment. You have put in a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, time, money, energy, sleepless nights, sacrificing time with your family, and I'm sure lots more than that, into building this business. You deserve a return on investment from a financial point of view, okay? Not because it's money, but because that money allows you to do stuff with it. That money allows you to invest, hire help at home so that you now have more time with your kids, right? All that type of stuff. There needs to be a time, and that should be sooner than what you think, where you start to get that return. All right? Okay, so that was hat number 3. So I'm gonna leave the hats there. I hope that this was some food for thought for you guys. Consider it. If you have not booked in your tax planning meeting, please do so as soon as you can. Do not leave it too late, because if you leave it too late, the things that you can do to minimize tax, you will be running out of time, and I don't want that for you. Another reminder, of course, is about a very exciting event happening this Friday here in the group. Yes, I will also put it on my Facebook page, and I'll email out my email list. And that, of course, is the 2022 birthday bonanza. It is my birthday on Sunday, but I'm not working on a Sunday, so we're doing the bonanza on Friday. So what is happening? Starting at 9 a.m. every hour, on the hour, I am releasing a special gift to you guys. Certain things will be offered to you for free, and certain things will be offered to you at a significant discount. Okay, and for the first time ever, we've got not 8 as per usual, not 9, not 10, not 11, but 12 gifts. So the last offer is going to come out at 8 p.m. Friday night. Okay, and I did it because I can, but also because I know sometimes people still are seeing clients on the Friday, and I want everybody to have an opportunity to not be sitting in front of clients. Yes, I know it's Friday night. You might have other plans, but even if you've got other plans, take your laptop with you to that barbecue, to the bar. When it strikes 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock, you be on there, and it's going to take you 20 seconds to be in the running to win either a free thing or get something at a hugely reduced discounted price. So as I said, 12 things, half of them at least you've never seen before, unless you are in the Private Practice Success Academy. There is a combination of stuff. It's like videos, there's templates, lots of templates that I'm offering this time, video training, resources. There's like so many different variety of resources, which means that irrespective of what you need, it's probably going to be in there. Okay, so the other important thing you need to know about the Bonanza, other than it happens on the hour, this is Australian Eastern Standard Time, Queensland time, is that you have to follow the instructions. If you get the instructions wrong, for example, if you comment the word I tell you to use as your subject line by email and you comment it in the comments, that does not count. Okay, you need to follow the instructions, which will be, I can give you a heads up now already. If you want to do a draft template email, have it at the ready. There's an idea for you. You need to email me with the word whatever I say in the subject line. Okay, that's all you need to do. With the word in the subject line, flick it to me. First 5 or the first 10, depending on what the offer is, will get it at what the offer is. I'm being very cryptic here, right? Because there's a wide variety of things. But please do follow the instructions. I do not want you to miss out, because this is going to be really great and amazing. All right, it is almost 5:15 in the evening, Wednesday night. I should probably start helping my mom with the dinner, which I will do right now. I'm gonna love and leave you. Have an amazing rest of your night. If you've got any questions about what I shared with you about the 3 hats, feel free to ask. However, I do encourage you to discuss this with your accountant, of course. And if you've got any questions about the birthday bonanza, be sure to ask as well. And I do hope to see all of you there. All right, gonna love and leave you. That is if I can find where's the end live video button. But until then, remember, I am here to help you build a practice you can't stop smiling about. So if you need my help, just let me know. All right, speak to you soon. Bye for now.